The universe has always been a mystery to humankind. Since the moment humans first looked up at the night sky, one question has echoed through their minds. Where did all this come from? The stars, the planets, the galaxies, the space, the light, did they always exist, or did they begin at some point in time? Science, through centuries of curiosity and discovery, has tried to answer this question. And finally, it presented a theory that changed everything, the Big Bang theory. According to this theory, the universe began from a single, extremely tiny and dense point. A point smaller than an atom, yet containing all the matter and energy of everything that would ever exist. Then, about 13.8 billion years ago, this point exploded, and that explosion is what we now call the Big Bang. From that instant, space, time, matter, energy, galaxies, stars, and planets all came into existence. But here comes the most mind-bending question of all. If the universe came from a single point, then where did that point come from? Was it always there? Did someone or something create it? Or did it just appear out of nothing? This is the question that still puzzles scientists, philosophers, and believers alike, the greatest mystery of existence. Shooting star, where did the point come from? Science's first answer: we don't know. The first thing to understand is that science does not claim to know everything. Science only deals with things that can be observed, tested, and verified. But when we talk about before the Big Bang, we enter a region beyond those limits. Why? Because the Big Bang was the beginning of both time and space. That means there was no before, because time itself began at that moment. If there was no time, then the question, what happened before it, simply doesn't make sense in scientific terms. So when scientists are asked, where did that point come from? Their honest answer is, we don't know, at least not yet. This is where the known boundaries of science end, but curiosity continues. Over time, scientists have proposed several fascinating ideas to explain how that mysterious point might have appeared. Milky Way Theory 1. The quantum fluctuation, something from the vacuum. Modern physics tells us that even empty space is not truly empty. Even what we call nothingness is actually filled with energy. This strange phenomenon is known as quantum fluctuation. It means that tiny bubbles or waves of energy constantly appear and disappear within space itself. Some scientists believe that our universe began as one of those quantum bubbles, a spontaneous burst of energy that rapidly expanded into everything we see today. In simple words, the point wasn't born from absolute nothingness, but from a sea of quantum energy that already existed. It's like a bubble forming inside water, except here, the water is invisible energy. But then another question arises. Where did that energy come from? Why did it exist in the first place? Who or what put it there? And here again, science falls silent. Dizzy Theory 2. The Multiverse, we are not alone. Another fascinating idea is the multiverse theory. According to this, our universe might not be the only one. There could be billions of other universes, each with its own laws of physics, its own timeline, and its own version of reality. In this view, our universe could have been born from another universe, just as one bubble forms beside another in boiling water. Maybe a process in some other universe triggered the creation of ours. If that's true, then our point might have been the result of a cosmic chain reaction. A never-ending cycle of universes creating new universes. But this theory also leaves us with the ultimate question. If there are countless universes, who created the first one? Did the chain truly have no beginning? Or did something start it all? Science has no certain answer. Comet Theory 3. The Cyclic Universe, Creation and Destruction in a Loop. Some scientists believe that the universe doesn't just expand forever. Instead, it might go through endless cycles of birth, expansion, collapse, and rebirth. This is called the Cyclic Universe theory. According to it, our universe wasn't the first Big Bang, and it won't be the last. Maybe there have been countless Big Bangs before this one. The universe expands, then gravity pulls everything back together, forming another dense point, and then another Big Bang happens again. It's like a cosmic heartbeat. Expand, collapse, expand again. If this is true, then our point was born from the remains of a previous universe, just as a new tree grows from the seed of the old one. But again, where did the first tree come from? Who planted the very first seed? Was there an original beginning? Once again, science offers no clear answer. Glowing Star Theory 4. The Simulation Hypothesis, the universe as a code. This is perhaps the most unusual but deeply thought-provoking theory. Some modern physicists and technologists suggest that our universe might be a simulation, something like a cosmic computer program. Think about a video game world. Inside that game, there are mountains, skies, light, gravity, and characters, but they're all created by code. The game, world, starts the moment you press start. Similarly, what if our universe began when some higher intelligence, some super consciousness, ran a cosmic program? In that sense, the point wasn't a physical object at all, it was the moment the program began. This idea sounds like science fiction, yet it oddly mirrors what religions have always said. That there is a creator, a designer, who brought everything into being with a single command, a single intention. Brain, what do scientists actually say? Great minds like Stephen Hawking, Albert Einstein, Lawrence Krauss, and Richard Feynman have all discussed this question. They agree that the universe had a beginning, but none could define what caused it. Stephen Hawking once said, "Greater than, time itself began at the Big Bang, so it's meaningless to ask what happened before it." Lawrence Krauss wrote, "Greater than, the universe can come from nothing, but that nothing is governed by the laws of physics, yet that raises the deeper question, where did those laws come from?" This is the point where science reaches its limits, and the human mind begins to search for something greater. Something beyond equations and experiments. Something that might explain why there is something instead of nothing. Sun behind small cloud when science meets religion. Here's a fascinating twist. In the Holy Quran, written more than 1,400 years ago, there is a verse that remarkably matches the concept of the Big Bang. It says, "Greater than, do not those who disbelieve see that the heavens and the earth were a closed-up mass, then we opened them out." Surah Al-Anbiya, 21:30. This verse clearly describes that the heavens and the earth were once joined together, and then separated. That's exactly what the Big Bang theory says. All matter was once compressed into one point, which then expanded and formed everything. Science discovered this only a century ago. But this truth was revealed long before in a divine book. Perhaps science is still catching up, discovering, step by step, what revelation already declared. Crescent moon, the mystery between reason and faith. When we look at everything neutrally, both science and religion are heading toward the same destination, just through different paths. Science asks, how did it happen? Faith answers, who made it happen? Science explains the process, how the universe expanded, how stars formed, how galaxies evolved. Faith explains the purpose, why it all exists, and who started it. Science can measure time, but not the meaning behind time. It can detect energy, but not the reason that energy exists. That's why, even the greatest scientists, at the end of their research, often stand before the same truth. There is something, or someone, beyond what we can observe. Shooting star, the final reflection. So, if we summarize everything we know, the universe began from a single point, this, science confirms. But the origin of that point remains the greatest unsolved mystery. Some say it came from quantum energy. Some say it was born from another universe. Some believe it's part of an infinite cycle, and others think we live inside a grand simulation. But no one can truly explain the first cause, the ultimate beginning. The moment where existence itself began. This is where reason stops and wonder begins. Where science says, we don't know, and faith whispers, God created. Maybe that's the beauty of existence. That no matter how much we learn, there will always remain a mystery that reminds us of our limits. And of something greater than all creation. The source of that first spark, the one behind that tiny point from which everything was born. Glowing star, a universal thought. In the end, whether you believe in science, religion, or both, the truth is that everything around us, every star and every atom, points to something extraordinary. From that mysterious point, came galaxies, stars, planets, life, and you. Maybe that single point was not just the start of the universe. Maybe it was the beginning of a question that still lives in every human heart. Who started it all?